Welcome. This is a presentation from DIY Marketing, where we say, yes, you can. Now, roll up your shirt sleeves and get out your elbow grease. You're going to learn how to become a dynamic DIY marketer.
All right. Hi, this is Lauren Darr. I am coming to you from DIYmarketing.tv, and I want to talk to you today about gaining market share even in these tough economic times. A lot of people say to me, oh, that's impossible, you can't do that. And I'm here to say that, oh, yes, you can. And I'll remind you that that's our tagline at DIY Marketing is, yes, you absolutely can. So one thing I want you to do, if you do nothing else in these tough times when it comes to trying to gain market share, is I want you to continue to market. This helps you keep you in the mind of your customer base and your target market. And if you do this for no other reason at all whatsoever, you need to do it because your competitors are probably cutting their marketing budget. Because marketing is one of those line items that when folks look at that budget, they say, okay, that's easy to just cut that out and stop doing those things. It's one of the worst things that you can do when you're trying to gain market share, especially if we're in a tough economic situation like we have been in this recession/depression the past few years. Another thing I want you to think about doing is co-oping. You can co-op on advertising. Think about who in your market, whether that's local or whether it's online or it's broader internationally or domestically, like in the United States, wherever domestically might be for you. Think about who has the same ideal client as you, and figure out how you can share on expenses, like on your advertising expenses, and perhaps do co-op advertising with those companies. This will keep you both marketing and in the mind of your customer base, but also save both companies money in the long run. Another thing to think about doing is to joint venture on events or promotions with that company that also may have the same ideal client base. What are some of the things that you can do? You can share booth space at a trade show. You can do a joint promotion. When you're putting your resources together, you might be able to have a bigger promotion, like a big giveaway, that otherwise, as a single entity, you might not have been able to do. You can even think about how can we create our own event or promotion to get attention and some media exposure, and do that as maybe a local expo or an online summit, all kinds of things that you can do to joint venture with another company that has your ideal client base. Another thing to think about is building relationships. This is important at any time during the stage of a business, but it is especially important when we are in a tough economic situation. I know it's easy to say, oh, let's cut out our travel budget, let's cut out going to networking events and things like that to save ourselves money, but as the old saying goes, you might be cutting off your nose to spite your face. So you really need to get out there and continue building those relationships. Get out there and be seen, go network, because there is absolutely no replacement for having that personal contact and that human touch. Another thing to do to gain market share is to offer new and or some creative payment terms. If you have not been accepting credit card payments, it's too easy to kind of figure that out and get that done, whether you do it through your bank or you do a search online to figure out how to do a merchant account and be able to accept payments on your website. As simple as getting a PayPal account, you can do that. Today, you can even accept payments on an Android, an iPhone, an iPad. You can use a technology like the Square device where you're literally swiping the card on that device so that you can accept credit card payments. A lot of people in these economic times are going to use that as a payment option, so you might consider offering that. And you might also think about doing timed payments, especially if you have a product that might be considered a big chunk to pay for at one time. Break those up into payments and offer some generous payment terms with recurring payments. Most importantly, what I want you to do during economic times like we have now to gain market share is to keep innovating. You went into business for a reason as an entrepreneur or a small business, and you really need to keep innovating. You had some great ideas, otherwise you wouldn't have been in business in the first place. So think of new products that you can offer, or is there a way for you to repackage some product or products to make those a new offering to your client base? What are some creative promotions that you can do and solutions that you can offer? So those are some ideas on how to gain market share even in tough economic times like we've been having the last few years. I hope this has been infinitely helpful to you. Please feel free to comment or give insights or ask questions to DIY Marketing on our website.
This has been a presentation of DIY Marketing. Thank you for joining us. Now get out there and market, because oh yes, you most certainly can.